Hello and welcome back to Kayo Repair. Today we're going to be replacing the gas tank on a Kayo tt140. These are going to be the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a 10mm socket. You're going to need a bigger Phillips head. You're going to need a screwdriver and a very small Phillips head. Okay, and thank you for joining us on today's Kayo. The first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing these two bolts and that screw right there. So now that you have these two bolts and that screw removed, you can pop the seat up and slide it back, and the seat should come up right off. Next, what we're going to be doing is taking off that plastic and the other plastic on the opposite side. On that bolt right there in particular, you're going to have your wrench underneath it right there, and that is a 10mm. So you're going to put it there, and then you're going to unscrew it from the top. For these screws on the very top of the gas tank right here, you're going to need your bigger Phillips head. Okay, so now that you have your two bolts removed, what you're going to do is, see that little pin right there? You're going to pull back on the plastic like that. And now you're going to repeat the process on the opposite side. Next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take out that screw right there, because that screw is what holds in the very front of your seat. So next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove that right there. And what you're going to need is you're going to need a 12mm and just put it on the bolt and now what you're going to do, you're going to reach up in here and you see that right there? That is a 8mm, and you're going to take it up in there and you're going to loosen. So after you get the front bolt removed right there, you're going to want to remove the center bolt right there, and you're going to want to do the same on the opposite side. So then you can take the tank off and remove that and put it on your. So now after you got that bolt removed, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna come in here, disconnect your fuel line, but you're gonna wanna make sure your petcock is off or else you'll have a big mess. Okay, so now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna clamp that and you're gonna wanna pull off the fuel line. Okay, so now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna pull off your fuel tank and you'll be left with the bare frame. So next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you remember the way that these go, and you're going to want to take it off, and then you're going to want to transfer them over to your brand new. If you wanted to, you could put a sealant around your petcock around in here, and if your leak was around in here, it would stop it, but it wouldn't stop it for long. So I would just recommend getting a brand new. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to put that bolt and that bolt in. And you're going to want to make sure the silver part is facing outwards. And you're going to do the same on the opposite side. Make sure the silver part is facing the opposite direction of the other. Okay, so now that you have your new tank prepped and ready to go on, what you're going to do is you're going to try your best to get that spacer in there to line up where it used to go. It's going to be really hard to put in, but it'll probably work. So after you get your tank on, you're going to want to snug up those bolts on both sides. Then you're going to want to put in your seat bolt right there. And whenever we took off the fuel line, we broke it a little bit. But that's okay, because we can trim it back a tad and it'll still fit perfect. So we ended up cutting our fuel line. Then we put it back on there. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to put the plastics on your brand new tank, and then we're going to put the seat on. So after you put your plastics back on, what you want to do now is you want to put your seat back on. But with the gas tank we ordered, it didn't come with the same bracket right there. So what this does now is it kind of shakes a little bit. So what you have to do is you just have to readjust it and make sure it's in the correct place to hold your seat down. But no worries, it should not move whenever you are riding, because it will be held down by those two bolts. Okay, so now that you have your seat put back on, you can see your tank is much sturdier than it was before, and it shouldn't go anywhere. You could put your plastics from your old tank back onto your new tank. I just didn't. I thought it would be a little bit easier. But I did notice one thing while we was working on it. That right there, the bottom part of our fender has been rubbing on our old cooler right in there, and we're gonna have to trim the bottom part of our fender. We've got our new gas tank installed. We're gonna go take it for a little ride, and we're gonna see how she does.